Hi, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of our Student Spotlight series, where we are able to showcase some of the work our past students have done. I'm Charlotte, one of the outreach coordinators here at CCIR, and it's our pleasure today to have Petra with us, who did one of our Future Scholars Program courses. So firstly, Petra, can you just introduce yourself? So tell us where you're from, what year you are in school, and then what your academic interests are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. So my name is Petra. I'm from Romania and I'm currently a senior in high school and I plan to study computer science.
Great. And then what can you tell us the course that you did? So if you remember the title, and then give us a general overview of what the course was about.
So the course that I did was Artificial Intelligence in Medical Image Analysis by Dr. Hedesiu. And it was about the artificial intelligence methods that are used to analyze CT scans or MRIs or other type of medical data.
And what interested you in taking this course?
Well, I had a bit of previous interest in machine learning. I did an internship with machine learning in kind of like in manufacturing processes, but it was more on tabular data. But then looking through the CCIR courses, I found also the possibility of applying machine learning to medical data, and I was really interested in taking that. So it was a really good experience.
Have you had any experience with kind of learning about medical data or just anything in the medical field before? Or was this kind of a new shift into the medical sciences?
I tried to learn a bit about image enhancement using artificial intelligence on my own before, but it was simply self-studying, so I didn't really have the guidance of a mentor. But it really helped me a lot to also hear the lectures and give me a more comprehensive approach.
Great. And so now we will shift to discuss your specific research project. So firstly, can you tell us what your research project was about and how you decided on that topic?
So my research project was about automated detection of carotid artery encasement on CT images. I found this issue by discussing it with a few local radiologists. It's a rather rare disease. It's only found in about 2 to 7% of head and neck cancers. But its diagnosis relies heavily on examiner expertise. So that's kind of the issue that I wanted to solve with artificial intelligence, because carotid artery encasement is basically when the carotid artery is encased by the tumor. So by bringing AI, I wanted to see the distance between these two structures to determine whether the carotid is encased by the tumor or not, because sometimes it's hard to see this on CT scans.
Interesting. And then can you walk us through your research methods and process? So what type of research you conducted and how the process was of finding the data, analyzing it, and all of that?
Yeah, so actually, to build this project, I had to develop two models, one to determine the carotid artery and one for the tumor. Since it's a rare disease, I did not have a data set with annotations for carotid artery encasement from the start. So I had to build two separate models and then assess the presence of the disease. And actually for the data set, since I did it for head and neck cancers, it was a bit harder to find a data set because you need a license. My mentor helped me a bit with that process, and I got the data set of the tumors, and then I could build the algorithms.
Had you had
So
experience with kind of building algorithms or doing that before the course?
on CT scans, for segmentations, no, it was my first experience. Of course, we had homeworks during the course, so those all were also very helpful just to get kind of like an overview of how the models would go. But before that, no, I haven't done anything. So it was a really nice help from my mentor and also my TA to guide me through this process.
Nice. Seems like a very interesting kind of first experience with that. And then can you walk us through your findings? Was there anything particularly interesting?
Well, the findings were that um, the confirmation of building two models for carotid artery encasement detection. So it was a confirmation to us that it can be done by using AI. Even though I had to build two separate models, it was carotid artery encasement was assessed with a high accuracy, I would say. I got about 87% intersection over union for the tumor segmentation and about 80 for the carotid. So those are pretty good results for determining the distance between the structures, and then I also did the encasement angle. So yeah.
And that was, sorry, that was the percentages were kind of the accuracy, is that right?
Yeah, the accuracy.
Okay. Do you know what it was, what the accuracy was, if it was just the human eye predicting it? Did you find that the AI was better?
Well, there aren't really studies on the human eye predicting it. It relies heavily on um, examiner expertise. I guess the Cohen-Kappa metric could be used to determine variance between the human examiners, but I haven't found any studies that give an exact accuracy of the human eye.
That makes sense. Do you think that your findings will contribute to a place where in the future maybe we will use AI either in to kind of replace this or just assist with it with the
Yeah,
diagnosis?
so as a first step, I would like to see it used as a tool that assists young radiologists or those that are at the beginning of their career to assess carotid artery encasement. I think it would be useful to see these precise calculations and then compare them to what a radiologist would obtain. Um, my papers are currently under review, but if they get accepted, I hope to continue this project further.
Yeah, definitely. And then since you brought up with the publishing, can you walk us through what your process was like with publishing, kind of how your mentor helped you with that? Did you utilize the CCIR publishing team or the writing center?
So actually, both my mentor and TA helped me a lot in reviewing the paper, even after the program was finished. Um, I submitted my study to the European Congress of Radiology, and having the basis from the CCIR project, I already had a draft of the article, and I just had to change the abstract a bit for their requirements, but it was a pretty straightforward process. And then for the oral oncology journal that I've also submitted my study to, they also requested a cover letter and a highlights page, but it was nothing too difficult once I had the study from CCIR with the feedback from my mentors.
And is this your first time trying to publish a paper?
No, I've actually done a paper with a local university before, but it wasn't an individual study. I wrote just the technical part of it. Here, I had to also gain understanding of the medical part and write those as well.
Yeah. So now we're going to shift to discuss just your general experience with CCIR. So firstly, can you tell us what your experience was like in the program doing a high-level research project like this, especially as a high school student?
Well, I think it's a really valuable experience. At first, the lectures were, it was a bit difficult. It was the material was a bit difficult, but at the end of each lecture, we had a homework that was assigned to us, and if we completed it, we we should have a really good understanding of the subject, and we could discuss this with our TA in the TA sessions. So that really helped me a lot in those early steps. And then after the lectures part was moving towards the end, and we had a more hands-on approach, I could apply those models to my research paper.
Great. And then how was this research process and experience compared to papers or projects you've done in school?
Well, there's quite nothing like it. Most of my projects that I've done before were individual, and I didn't have the guidance of a mentor. But through CCIR, it really helped me to see constant feedback also on my paper and on my models. Whenever I hit a roadblock, we would just exchange emails and I would be able to solve the issue a lot more quickly. During the research that I've done with the local university, I've had some support, but it wasn't as consistent as the one with CCIR.
And then, can you tell us what your experience was like working with the other students in your course?
Yeah, well, it was really interesting to me because we were five in our research group. We were all from different backgrounds, and it was really interesting to see everyone come up with their own research ideas and models that they would do for medical analyses. And it was just interesting to see everyone's projects evolve. So I think it was really valuable to see multiple applications of AI in medical image analysis and assisting their progress as well.
Yeah, I can see, especially in the subject that you did, how many kind of pathways or different ways that you could take it. So that must have been really interesting to see. Um, and then my next question is about just your mentors in your course or your mentor and your TA. So for those listening, we really like to emphasize the aspect of mentorship in our programs as opposed to the traditional teacher, where our mentors don't just transfer information onto you as the student, but really guide you through your own discoveries and learning process. So can you tell us what your experience with your mentor and your TA was like as you moved through the first teaching half of the course into the latter, more research-oriented half of the course, and how they helped guide you through that?
Yeah, so in the first part of the course, even though it was more lecture based, we still got a hands-on approach from the homeworks that were assigned to us, and we discussed them during the TA sessions, and our TA really made sure that we understood them. So switching from that to the research-oriented part of the course was a pretty smooth transition, I would say, and it wasn't too difficult. And then also during the research part, um, our TA helped us a lot with our projects and issues that we've encountered. And it was just a lot of support from both our mentor with kind of like the technical knowledge and our TA.
Great. And then just a few more questions for you. Firstly, can you tell us if this course has given you any insights into your future? Do you think it's maybe informed or shaped how you think of your path moving forward, either in uni or in your career?
Yeah, so since I've never really worked so much on AI in medical image analysis before, I found it really interesting and I would like to pursue it at university as well. I've actually started searching for some laboratories that have this at university, and I hope to continue this in my future.
Nice. That seems really great that it's kind of been able to not only open you up to this new field that you hadn't had experience with before, but also solidify that it's an interest that you want to pursue, which is very cool. And then my last question for you, what would you say to someone who asked you what the value of doing a project or a program like this is, especially for a high school student?
I say it's really valuable just to get a sense of how a research project is conducted, from structuring it, and the support that you get from your mentors and your TA is really important because they really help you have a logical vision when it comes to your project, and they're just there to support you with the technical knowledge and also for writing the article.
Great. So that was my last question for you. Thank you so much for chatting to me and congratulations again on your nomination to our Spotlight series.
Thank you.